Hey Radiant Souls, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, I'm Heather. It's nice to see you. I am an intuitive counselor, author, artist, animal communicator, energy healer, and I'm on a mission to help others connect with their divine radiant light and honor the sacred connection with all of life. We have been going through step by step, chapter by chapter, my 2020 book, Hey Radiant Souls, A Guide to Finding and Shining Your Light. We've been taking the slow approach to that. But I just wanted to come back and dive into what is chapter 4, because that's what we're up to now. And chapter 4 is about choosing your view. So when I was receiving the transmissions for this book, so if you're new here, you don't know what I'm talking about. I work with a team of guides in spirit and other dimensions to pull through information and coming up with this book. That's where the phrase, Hey Radiant Souls came from, because at a certain time of morning is when I have kind of like a staff meeting with my spirit team. And they would kind of get my attention or wake me up from sleeping by saying, Hey Radiant Soul. So it just was coming in with the same information, and it all just became a thing. So that's been several years now. But I remember this one very vividly because not only did messages and words and such come through about the theme, but I would also get a picture. And all I could see with this one initially was, or the photo or the meme kind of related image that was shared with me for this one was like if you go to a zoo or a national park or some kind of monument and you have those binoculars that you can walk up to, and we used to put a quarter in them to be able to look at them. I don't know how it works these days. You probably swipe something, who knows? But I kept seeing like those binoculars and how you can choose your view. You can choose to be really far away from something and not engaged with it, or you can choose to zoom right in on it and see all the fine details. And neither one of those is better or worse than the other. They're just different. But we forget that often while we are just going about our daily lives, being human, being us. We forget that we can shift our perspective. We can choose our view because we get locked into it, right? We're like, this is how my day goes. This is who I am. We have our lineage. We have how we identify ourselves. Maybe it's our astrology or our human design chart or our Enneagram or any of these things that we have that kind of box us in and say, this is who I am. Here is me. Or not even about ourselves, about people we know, about the world in general, about current events, things going on. We get kind of keyed in and locked in to certain perspectives and views. And guess what? Life is fluid. Everything comes and goes and flows and ebbs, and we might change our perspectives, and that's okay. We're supposed to choose our view. And this is also, I talked the other day about fear and how that's kind of like a template or a filter that is put over us sometimes, not even coming from us. So choosing to step out of that and see things with more clarity, with more authenticity can be really helpful. So I want to read the channeled message that came through in the book, so I can share that with you too. Hey Radiant Soul, when you first open your eyes upon waking, where does your gaze settle? Do you notice the laundry piled up on the floor? Do you pick up your devices and check the latest headlines? Do you review the to-do list and feel defeated before you're even fully awake? During your day, are you gazing outward or in? Eyes uplifted in hope or cast down in fear? It isn't about the proverbial half empty or full glass, but instead the clarity and texture of the glass you choose to look through. Avoid coloring your experiences by shading them with darkness. Instead, polish them with iridescence and choose your view. I almost got through without messing anything up. Iridescence, sparkliness. Add some sparkle to your day. And I know that sounds really trite, but we also forget sometimes we don't have to wear the same emotions day over day. You can change them like a shirt. Like, oh, that doesn't fit me anymore. I want to wear something a little brighter. We can do that. We can choose that view. But often our views are linked to our personality, and then you have the same view for a period of time, and all of a sudden that's just who you are. And that's how other people know you. And then we get afraid to change our view because we think, oh, if I change, then that person might not like me anymore, or I won't know how to talk to them, or I won't know how to show up in my job in this different way, or I won't know how to be me because who am I without those views? But if they aren't fitting you anymore, then you're just being a false representation of yourself anyway. So having the courage and the confidence and just the knowledge of knowing you can choose your view. And to go back to the binoculars, the art that actually came through, just like an eye chart, where when you go to the optometrist and you read the letters off the eye chart. And that goes with a funny story from my childhood that's in the book. But it's going back to the binoculars of near or far. Sometimes we also get that reversed, and we think things that are really far out in the distance or not really impactful to us are the things that we focus on. And so we get a little obsessive or a little over-invested energetically in those things when we could just pull our focus back to just us. I always like to say, eyes on your own paper. Like, whatever anybody else is doing is up to them. Eyes on your own paper, what's going on with you? Conversely, if we get a little boxed in and we feel like, oh, I don't feel like I'm connected to anything. I do the same thing day in and day out, and I feel dull, I feel stalled, I feel stagnant and stuck. Then shift your perspective to look outside of you. Where can you find community? Where can you find somebody who shares those different perspectives and views? Or how can you just look at the world differently to shift things up for yourself? So that's my spiel on chapter 4 of Hey Radiant Souls, a guide to finding and shining your light. It's also basically what this book is a path toward authenticity. When I talk about divine radiant light, that's you. That's the spark within you, the piece of you that is 100% authentically you, that you came in with. Life tries to mold it, shape it, or we allow life to mold it and shape it and change it, and then we forget where the heck we left it. It's like the car keys. Where did I even put my divine radiant light? It was right here. I left it on the table. I could swear it's there. Where did it go? And we go 30 years in and we forget who we are. And then we wonder why we feel stuck and stagnant and inauthentic in our lives. So it's a 12-step program basically to help you reclaim those bits of you that are you. So anyway, that's it for today. Hope you found this helpful. I'll see you next time. Bye.